Today on Transformation with Pastor Anny Ikebudu.
The first thing I want you to write down is that there's nothing new about this year. It's just another date on the calendar. If you go or browse through the internet on social media, you'll see several churches declaring this our year of that, this our year of that. Prophecy has gone out. But hear me, it's not the first time prophecy is going out. First of all, I want you to understand there's nothing new about this year. You will still have 24 hours in a day. You still have 7 days in a week. You still have 52 weeks in a year. And you still have 12 months this year. What will make this year a special year is what you do with the year. As we say all the time in this house, we are not moved about the new year, but we want to have a new us. It is a new you that will make the new year a new and special year. So I want to tell you a few things that will help you make sure that this year becomes a special year for you. The first thing I will tell you is that you must stop seeing this year as a year. Stop seeing 2023 as a year. If you want to maximize 2023, you must discipline yourself to start, first of all, to see 2023 as a 52 weeks project. 52 weeks project. 52 weeks project. And 1 week is already gone. Right? We're already in the second week. Or is it third week? Second week. Which means those of you that are just coming back from the village, 2023 is just a 50-week project for you. But nothing's for yet. When you start to see it as a project, then your mind will start to approach it with strategies, goals, objectives, and timelines. One of the things you must study by the side this year is project management. Project management. You can just Google it online. There are cheap versions of it. Just have a grasp about project management, so you can learn how to manage this year. So this year, 2023, all of us here will all have the same number of hours, the same number of days, weeks, and months. But all of us here will not achieve the same level of success this year. Even though we have the same number of hours, same number of minutes and seconds, days and weeks and months, all of us here today will not achieve the same level of success. The difference maker will be on how and what you do with your time. What will determine your level of success this year is primarily determined by how you use your time, what you do with your time, whether you're going to spend your time or whether you're going to invest your time. You know, spending time and investing time may look the same. But the difference between spending time and investing time is your expectation at the end of the day. It's your expectation at the end of the day. For instance, someone can watch a 2-hour movie to be entertained. Another person can watch the same movie for 2 hours to learn how to write a script. So the one who watched the movie to be entertained spent his time. The one who watched the movie to learn how to write a script invested his time. For instance, 2 people may be on the social media, but one is just being sociable while the other one is learning. So one is spending time and one what? Investing time. The difference between spending time and investing time lies in your expectation of returns. Expectation of returns. What you are doing, what are you expecting out of this? So one of the things you must do this year is that before you do anything, ask yourself, this thing I want to do, will it amount to spending time or will it amount to investing time? When you spend time, at the end of the day, you have no investments. You have no savings. There's no return on your spending. But when you invest time, at the end of the day, there'll be a return on your investment. So there are some certain things we must put in place if we want to maximize this 52 weeks project. Here this passengers traveling on an aircraft. If you have ever traveled aboard a plane, if you ever traveled on board a plane going to a far distance, maybe from Nigeria to Dubai, or from Nigeria to Europe, or from Nigeria, especially long distance, especially Nigeria to the US. When you enter the aircraft, there are what is called economy seats. I will have business class. I will have first class. They all attract different prices. Oftentimes, the price you pay for economy oftentimes is about 50% of the price you pay for the business class. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So for instance, even going to Lagos from Owerri, you can pay for economy for 70,000, 80,000, but business class may be about 150, 160. Usually the difference between the economy and the business class is not very glaring in short distance. When you're traveling 1 hour, 1.5 hours, it's not very glaring. But when you're going to travel in an aircraft for 16 hours non-stop, that is when you start to notice the difference. The economy, the seats are smaller, you sit down and they serve you basic things. But most business classes, their chairs are like beds. You can recline it and sleep. They'll keep anything you want to do your hand like this, they'll keep feeding you, they keep giving you things. And also hear that on some luxury airlines, the first class has a shower. So as you are, before the plane arrives, you go and take a shower, you go and freshen up. So, this is my point. Passengers traveling on an aircraft, both the ones traveling economy, the ones traveling business class, and the ones traveling first class, they will arrive at their destination the same time. the same time. They will take off the same time, and they will arrive the same time. Likewise, everybody that is traveling this year left at the same time, January 1st, and all of us will arrive at the same time, 31st December. But this is the question. Even though they will arrive at the same time, they will not arrive at the same condition. Some will arrive with their feet swollen. Some will arrive tired, frustrated. For me, anytime I fly economy from Lagos, from Owerri to Lagos, by the time I arrive, my knees are paining because I have to squeeze myself into those chairs. And all manner of people will be touching you. So you may arrive at the same time, but you not arrive the same condition. A business class passenger arrives and moves straight from the airport to a business meeting, fresh, because he slept throughout. But the one who flew economy may require 2 days to recover from what they call jet lag. So if you don't want to arrive at 31st December knackered, frustrated, tired, you got to learn how to manage 2023. If you want to arrive at the end of the year like an economy passenger, it's up to you. Peradventure, you are here today and you want to arrive at the end of the year with a first-class experience. You need to pay a first-class price. Economy ticket and first-class ticket or business-class ticket, they're not the same. You need to pay the relevant and requisite price for a first-class experience. So today, by the grace of God, I will start to show you how to organize yourself to make sure that you arrive your destination the way you want to arrive, fresh, happy, excited, glorious. Write this down. Success is never accidental. Success is never accidental. People must plan to succeed. Likewise, failure is never accidental. It will surprise you to understand that failure is never accidental. People plan to fail. How do people plan to fail? When you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. When you fail to plan, you're actually planning to fail. Great impact, great influence, great success will never happen accidentally. Never. Great success, sustainable success, is usually a result of a deliberate plan. Deliberate plan. Most Africans don't plan. Because planning requires discipline. Planning requires sitting down and thinking. Most Africans will rather pray than plan. Did I say that? I say most people, if you go to most churches this period, prayer is going on everywhere. There's nothing wrong with prayer. We pray here too. But prayer does not take the place of planning. The best form of prayer is prayer that enables you to plan. Prayer where you pray and you are asking for enlightenment. You're asking for divine enlightenment so that you can plan well. Because your planning can never be higher than the quality of the information available to you. That's where prayer comes in. Most times in Africa, our prayers generate heat and not light. Heat, we're all sweating, bakata, fire, 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 not light. Light is revelation. Light is divine information. Light is divine strategy. Light is wisdom. Light is understanding. So if you're going to pray this period, forget about devils, forget about demons. Pray for light. That's why the first thing God did when He was creating, He said, let there be light. The first thing you need in order to bring order into chaos is light. If your family, if your business, if your economy is in a state of disarray, it's a state of anarchy, what you need is not to cast out devils. What you need is what? Light. Paul prayed and said, may the eyes of your understanding be enlightened. Am I making sense? We're just talking, is it okay? So, most people fail in life not because they're not gifted, not because they're not talented, but they failed because they were not strategic. They didn't plan. And even when they plan, they refuse to pay the price to execute their plan. It's one thing to have a plan, it's another thing to have the willingness to execute your plan. Nigeria, we know how to write policy statements. We know how to write and craft good budgets. But our problem has always been executing those plans. Are you following me? Am I making sense? So people fail because they have failed to move from wishful thinking onto vision, goals, and plans. Everybody here is wishing that by 2023 ending, you'll have become a multi-millionaire. Things will have been okay for you, right? But no matter how long you wish, it will happen. No matter how long you confess it, claim it, and receive it, it will happen. The prophetic is not what you take and put under your pillow. Your prophetic is a guide to your actions. Did you hear what I said? It's a guide to your actions. It's a guide. It gives you a direction. So you can start to strategize and plan around the prophetic. But most of you, I receive it, my year of double, and you receive it, I rub out for body, and that's the end of it. End of the year, no double anywhere. As a matter of fact, minus. And you now say, this pastor, are you sure he's not a fake prophet? Am I making sense? All right. To plan successfully this year, your starting point must be self-assessment. You must assess last year. You must have a critical assessment of last year. Your plan cannot exist in a vacuum. Your plan must be to solve a problem. You must look at last year Where did you do well? Where didn't you do well? So one thing I tell people is that oftentimes what I do is that I will usually sit down and I write down 7 areas that I didn't do well last year. 7 areas I didn't do well. When it comes to the business, 7 areas I didn't do well in the business. When it comes to the ministry, 7 areas I didn't do well. When it comes to my marriage, my family, 7 areas I didn't do well. When it comes to my health, 7 areas I didn't do well. When it comes to my spiritual walk with God, 7 areas I didn't do well. Starting point. Then I also write 7 areas I did well. All right? Am I making sense? Write down 7 areas you didn't do well, or 7 things you didn't do well in, and 7 things you did well in. Because this is going to form the foundation for your plans. So when you look at where you didn't do well, you start to ask yourself, what can I do to do well in these areas? What do I need to tweak? What do I need to change to make sure I can do well in these areas? And also, can I ever do well in those areas? That's a very powerful question. Can I ever do well in those areas? Oftentimes, we're encumbered with things we can never be able to do well. So the strategic thing to do is to say, if I can never do well in these areas, to leave it. Am I making sense? Then, the areas you did well, what can you do to make it better? This forms the foundation of your plans. Is it okay? Is it okay? So write it down in your paper that when you go home, don't try to write any 7 things here. So you'll be reminded to inquire, self-assessment. 7 areas, 7 things I didn't do well in last year, and 7 things I did well. And start to ask yourself, how can I do well in those areas? And how can I even do better in the areas I did well? Number 2, vision. As we all say it all the time, your vision is the picture of the future that you desire. The picture of the future that you desire. This is where you decide what you want to achieve with your life. Am I making sense? This gives you an overall perspective that shapes all other aspects of your life. Your vision gives you the overall perspective. For instance, if my vision is to become the number 1 leadership coach, that vision will affect every other aspect of my life. Why? That vision will determine the books I will read, the seminars I will attend. Determines how I will do my normal day to day. Will determine how I will relate with people, because I don't want to relate with people in a way that tomorrow they say, he's teaching leadership and yet he has nothing about leadership in his character. So your vision determines the overall perspective of your life and affects every other aspect of your life. It affects your dressing, your speech, your mannerisms, how you carry yourself, what you spend money on, what you invest in, what you avoid. Vision is critical because one of the things vision will teach you is what to avoid. There are some businesses you bring to me, I will never touch it because it's not in line with my vision. Never. Your vision protects. Your vision guides. Your vision gives you direction. And most importantly, your vision affects every other aspect of your life. The Bible tells us in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1, it says, I will stand me upon my watch and I will set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me. I just wanted to read it to show you something. Vision don't just jump on you. Vision is intentional. You wait for vision. You pray for vision. You pray for vision, and oftentimes you pray for clarity of vision. Last night, I was just talking with my wife. I was telling her, see what I want to achieve, see our issues, see the issues we have here, see the issues we have there. And some of them I don't even know what to do. So I've been praying to God to give me revelation, solutions. I've been asking questions. So vision is intentional. Visionaries sometimes, they go to a quiet place. Jesus always retreated to a quiet place to commune with his Father. If you're always surrounded with noise, you can never be visionary. And sometimes the vision God gives you needs to be sharpened. Sharpened, clarity, clarity, more clarity, more clarity, more clarity. Is it okay? So we must envision our vision. But hear this. Notice that he said, I will wait to do what? I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. To see what he will say unto me. That's bad English, right? It should have been, I'll wait to hear what he will say to me. That tells you most times vision is pictorial. You see. You see. And you can see vision sleeping, and you can see vision with your eyes open. Am I making sense? Sometimes a vision you have is not very clear until you meet somebody that is doing already what you want to do. And at that point, you receive clarity. Is it okay? All right. So vision is a well-cooked desire. So when you have vision, your actions become clear. But hear this. There's a difference between vision and goals. There's a difference between vision and goals. Vision is long-term. Goals are short-term. Goals are simply milestones you want to achieve in the pursuit of your vision. Goals are simply milestones you want to, come on, I can't hear you, achieve in the pursuit of your what? Vision. So you want to build a school, vision. You want to build a transformational institute of learning. That's a vision. But in order to do that, you need to learn about running a school. Or first of all, you need to take a course in education so you can have the certification to be able to start a school. Then that's a goal. Okay, you tell yourself, I want to start a school in the next 10 years. So you're telling yourself, okay, in the next 24 months, I want to have gotten my certification so I can be qualified to own a school or to run a school. Then they said, okay, once that is done, in the next 2 years, I will have learned how to manage a school, how to run a school. Then I will have started saving money. You know, I need 50 million to start a school. So in the next 2 years, I need to have been able to save 10 million. Or I need to start to build relationships with people that by the time we are ready, they'll be able to invest in the school. These are goals. So vision is the overall picture, but goals are milestones you must achieve in the pursuit of your vision. Am I clear? If you notice, I am being very slow so that all of us will get it, right? Are you getting it? For instance, you're... Let me not go there. I don't want to lose traction. So, in order to have a first-class experience this year, your vision and your goals must be audacious. Audacious. but not unrealistic. That's the reason why. Audacious means it must be big, it must make sense. Because any goal that does not excite you will not change you. Any goal that does not excite you will not inspire you to get better, to work better. Any vision that doesn't scare you will not inspire you to become the best you can ever be. If your goal is not audacious, it will never challenge you. Because one of the best things about pursuing goals is not just achieving the goals, but becoming the person who can achieve the goals. So I feel like giving myself an offering. Did you get it? You see, when it comes to setting goals in a year, maybe at the end of the year, maybe you didn't achieve your goals. But guess what? If the goals are audacious and you pursued it, at the end of the year, you are not the same person you used to be. You cannot be. You cannot be. You cannot be. Because if it's audacious, you must go into personal development. You must network better. So if your goal for this year must be audacious, that's why in this house we say that our goal this year is double. We want to double everything. And it means that if we must receive double, we must double our capacity. We must double our capacity, overall capacity. If your goal is not audacious, it will not wake you up early in the morning. People who sleep till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock don't have audacious goals. When your goal is audacious, you wake up by 4:30 and you start to pray and plan. When you see people hang around, gist for 5 hours. Hey, nothing annoys me like people call me on the phone. Pastor, how are you? How was your night? Your wife won't call? How about the children? And the mekwa? Come on. If you call me on the phone, go straight to the point. Because 24 hours oftentimes is not enough for us. So we know people who have goals by the way they run their lives. You may have goals, but it may not be audacious goals. A man with audacious goals always looks like he has a spring in his feet. He's always in a hurry. He's always, trying to do things. The reason why you are still the same is that you have not set audacious goals for yourself and you have not committed yourself to pursuing those goals and fulfilling those goals or achieving those goals. Nobody remains the same that makes up their mind to pursue an audacious goal. Nobody remains the same. The goal for the year has robbed me of my sleep. I couldn't travel this year because I just needed time. I didn't call anybody. I didn't visit anybody. I just needed to sometimes to just sit down and think. Is that the best you can be? Is that the best there is in what you're doing? Is there a higher version? Can you be better? Can this be better? Where did we stumble? Where did we stagnate? What is causing the stagnation? Who is responsible? What is responsible? What do we do to change it? Stop blaming the devil for everything. Stop blaming your villagers. People suffer as a result of the decisions they took. The greatest enemy to your success are your decisions. Your decisions. And your decisions, one more time, cannot be higher than the quality of the information and the discipline that you have. Some of you, at the end of the year, you'll be like this. You're just gotten older, that's all. You're just gotten older. Nothing will have changed. But say, God forbid. But say, God forbid. That's why we're sharing what we are sharing. Is it okay? Is it okay? And remember, it is not what you know that changes your life. It is what you know that you put to practice that changes your life. So, goals. What are goals? And I'll end on that note. Can we read the Bible? Genesis 13, verse 14 to 17. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes and look from the place where thou art northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed forever. Prophecy. What's a prophecy? What's a prophecy? Next verse. And I will make thy seed as dust of the earth. What's a prophecy? So that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be what? Numbered. What's a prophecy? Our year of 2020. Our year of double. What's a prophecy? What's a prophecy? Now, after prophecy, God now told him what to do. What did he tell him? Next verse. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto you. I have prophesied, now take actions. Are you seeing it? I have prophesied, now do what? Take actions. Double, prophecy. And I say, now what? Take actions as a result of the word that you have heard. Child. God told Habakkuk to clearly write down the vision so that anybody who reads it will understand it and be able to take actions. That he may run that readeth it. Vision that is not worked upon is useless. It's fantasy. It's a piece of paper. The importance of goals. By the way, goals are different from New Year resolution. By the way, what's your New Year resolution? How many of you have New Year resolutions? Come on now, I'm sure you have New Year resolution. Why are you lying now? Anybody here that has a New Year resolution? Huh? You don't have? Or are you lying? You're afraid now. Me, I no longer have New Year resolutions. Why? I am never able to keep them. So I have only one New Year resolution every year to get better. To get better as a person. With that, everything can fall into place. But goals are different from New Year resolutions. Goals will just say, goals will give you a map, timelines that is needed to achieve the objective. What are the importance of goals? Number one, goals are important because nobody achieves more than they expect to. Nobody achieves more than they expect to achieve. Number 2, goals guide and direct behavior. Goals, they guide and they direct behavior. Number 3, goals create focus. Focus is power. Goals does what? Creates what? Focus. People fail because they are splintered in different directions. Goals create focus. Focus. Number 4, goals help us. Number 4, goals help to motivate us to our next level. Goals, they help to motivate us. That's why I said your goals must be audacious. If it's audacious, it will motivate you. It makes it exciting. Understand? Motivates you. See, people commit suicide when they have lost focus of a bright future. Your goals of a better tomorrow will keep you motivated. Will keep you pursuing your next level. Goals, number 5, goals help us to organize our thoughts and our resources. They help us to do what? Organize our thoughts and our resources. Because if you allow your mind will wander in different directions. But your goals helps you to galvanize your thought process towards one direction. If your goals are audacious, that they motivate you, you will notice that anytime you have free time, you see yourself thinking about your goals. And also, it also helps us to organize our resources. Our resources. Our goals for the year will help us to organize where and how and when to spend money. Do you get? Understand? Your goals will determine what will be in your budget. Yesterday we're having leadership retreat, and we're about to start an outreach project. That outreach project is born out of our goals of double. And whether we like it or not, it will affect our budgeting. Money must be provided for it. Thinking, strategic meetings must be invested in it. Goals are powerful. Number 6, goals help us to program our subconscious mind. Goals help us to do what? Program our subconscious mind. Last year we learned about the conscious mind and subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the autopilot of your life. Your subconscious mind is what determines how you feel, what you pursue, what you notice, and what you even attract. I don't have time to work it. If you go and get our teachings on vision, sharpening your vision, we'll deal with that extensively. Because the way you program your subconscious mind, science says when you think about something passionately for a while, or if you repeat something to yourself 16 times, it moves from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is more powerful than your conscious mind. And what the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is what determines what enters your mind and what doesn't enter your mind. Because it triggers what is called the reticular activation syndrome, RAS. The RAS is like a filter that stops your brain from blowing. Because that filter stops some things from entering your mind. That's why two people can look at a picture and see two different things. For instance, if I watch a picture with my wife I may see the doors and the windows of the house, but my wife may see the makeup and the earring that the woman in the picture is wearing, which I never noticed. Why? Because my RAS, my filter, will not allow me to notice the makeup, because the makeup has nothing to do with me, because I don't think about it. Because I think about doors, I want to build a house, so I will see it. So your goals, because you dwell on it, is how to program your subconscious mind, allowing your mind to notice whatever it is that will be needed to assist your goals. Am I making sense? So if you don't have anything you are telling yourself about all the time, if your goals are not audacious, your mind will just be open, picking up garbage until it blows. Some people, their mind has blown. That's why you can't teach them anything. And also your mind determines what you attract according to the law of attraction. The law of attraction says anything you have, you are attracted. And how do you attract it? It said you release impulses. You're like a magnet. You have a magnetic field. You are releasing impulses. That's attracting things to you. And those impulses, say, they are impulses that emanate from your dominant thoughts. Bible says, he that wants friends must be what? Friendly. If your dominant thoughts is a friendly disposition, you will notice that you start to attract friends to yourself. Job said, what I fear the most have happened to me. Job was afraid. His dominant thought was full of fear of evil, and he attracted it. Bible said, think on these things. If anything be noble, if anything be honest, if anything be of virtue. Because what you think on, you attract. Bible says, guard your heart diligently, for out of it proceeds what? The issues of life. One translation says that is where life starts. So your financial life starts from what you think about. Your marital destiny begins from what you think about. That's how it is. So your goals gives you positive things to dwell on. So you can start to attract things and people and resources and energies that is required to help you fulfill your vision. Number 7, goals help you to quickly identify distractions and avoid them. It helps you quickly to identify distractions and avoid them. There's a man of God in this city that today he doesn't like me. He thinks I'm arrogant. And after a while, we started talking. And he went out of his way to make amends, to show me that he likes me. So he now called me one night by 9:45 p.m. and told me about the program he wanted to have the following week, which was the public holidays, that he wanted me to be one of the speakers. I said, no problem. I said, what's the theme of the meeting? He told me the theme. I said, okay. But when I dropped the phone, I told myself, this theme is not in line with my goals of ministry. Not that it's a bad theme, but it's not my area. So around 2 a.m., some hours later, I chatted him up and said, man of God, I don't think I'll be able to speak in this meeting. Please let it pass me by. And he called me. He was like, why? Why? I said, no. It's not in line with what I am doing right now. For me, it was a distraction. Not that I couldn't teach it. I could teach it well. But for me, it was a distraction. When they invite me for a program now, and I ask, what is the essence of the program? What's the theme? If it's not in line with what I'm doing, I'll say I'm not coming. Because your goals will enable you to identify distractions easily and avoid them. Top performers in every field set goals for themselves. No matter how much you pay Lionel Messi to join your club, what he's going to be a goalkeeper, will he accept it? Will he accept? One more time. Top performers in every field set goals for themselves. Vision gives you long-term motivation, but goals gives you short-term motivation. Like I told you earlier, our general goal for this year is double, right? But we have a monthly goal, and we must also have a quarterly goal. So at the end of the first quarter, we must sit down and appraise the quarter before we set the goal for the next quarter. Likewise, in your business also, you must have your January goal. Your January goal may not be sales, may not just be sales. Because oftentimes people just like to walk in their business. Sales, let's just start standing immediately. No. It may be to walk in the business, to walk it, to rejig it. Your general goal may be just to set your systems right. Set your systems right. Communicate the goals and objectives right. Block leakages. Am I making sense? Because if you don't do those things and continue the way you ended last year, you have the same result. Setting goals, number what? Number 8, right? Setting goals helps in directing your acquisition of knowledge. Setting goals helps in directing your acquisition of knowledge. Audacious goals will demand new knowledge. Audacious goals will demand new information. It will demand new revelation. Number 9, setting goals will help you to organize your time. I think I have to end here. Next Sunday we'll continue. Is it okay? All right, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to ask 1 or 2 questions and we'll close. Next Sunday we'll teach how to set goals, how to set smart goals. All right? You have any question, please? You can ask now. If not, we'll close the service as we prepare for our conference. Remember what I told you earlier? The one who travels first class, the one who travels business class, the one who travels economy on the same aircraft, they will take off at the same time and they will land at their destination at the same time. But the issue now is this: how do they land? In what condition will they be when they land? All of us here will land together on 31st December 2023. But this is the question: how will be your condition? Will you arrive tired, frustrated, bitter, angry, poor, broke, unemployed? Feeling like a failure? Or will you arrive refreshed, motivated, happy, successful, eager for the next year, thankful? The choice is yours, because the price of the ticket for economy seat, business class seat, and first class seat, they are not the same. The choice is yours. The price you pay is indicative of the experience you have chosen. God bless you.
This is a House on the Rock Abba production. Be part of any of our life transforming services every Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at 3 Covenant Close behind Rufus Obi Chemist along Abowe Road, Aba, Abia State. You can also follow us on Facebook at House on the Rock, Aba, and on Instagram at HOTR, Aba. For prayers and counseling, please call 0810-892-4731. Again, 0810-892-4731. Stay blessed.